on The Mortgage Show. From Home Trust, we have Pierre Martin and Calvin Fernandez. Also, Fisgar's Managing Director, Hallie Noble. Plus, Kate Brady chats with DLC's Jen Matthias about singing in a pop and rock performance ensemble. We have the countdown. What's coming up this month in training and events? We mix up a holiday drink and much more. Here's your host, Dave Teixeira.
Hello. Welcome, everyone, to the big December edition of the award-winning, world-class mortgage show here, brought to you by the fine folks at DLCG Mortgages. Anyways, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to check out what we have on the program. And we've got an action-packed program, as always. We have a couple of fine gentlemen from Home Trust. We got Calvin and Pierre going to be joining us later in the program. We're going to learn about, it's not a choir, it's an ensemble, a musical ensemble, and they do pop and rock music. You got to check this out. We're going to have Hallie Noble from the Mighty Fisgard and much more. Oh, don't forget the highlight of the program, as she tells me it is. It's Ivan and Heather Cermak. They're going to be here mixing up an incredible drink for us to all enjoy. So you're not going to want to miss all of that. But first, let's start with a few things that we can do here as we just do our bit of a countdown. And let's start with agent universities. We had our agent universities this past month or so, and we've been traveling across the country. We've been having a really good time. And, you all came out to join us. And so we really appreciate that. It was sold out from Vancouver, Edmonton, Toronto, but don't worry. We're going to be coming back on the road in well, not next year, but the year after. We're going to do these universities. And hey, who knows? We can maybe expand those. Quebec, we're coming to you in January as well. And we anticipate that being sold out. So lots of fun stuff that we did. We learned, we laughed, and we had a really great time. And we just can't thank you enough. And check this out. This is the amazing team that helped put this all together from coast to coast. So thank you to everyone in this photo, and thank you to everyone who attended. We had over 700 people in Toronto this past Friday, just a few days ago. Before that was Edmonton. We had about 300 and change there, and we had a little over 400 in Vancouver at the start of the month. So we absolutely love doing these and can't wait to bring them back to you again in 2026, because next year we're going to have the Inspire Conference, and I can't announce that yet, but stay tuned. Kate Brady and the team will be bringing that up. Anyways, ICW in conversation with Dr. Sherry Cooper. It's coming back to the mighty airwaves here on the 11th of December. You don't want to miss that at all. You're going to want to check that out. And what's Sherry going to be talking about? Well, she said at the universities, she had said that she believes there'll be another 25 basis points reduction. So stay tuned for that. But she always gives us the best of all the great information that you need to be even more successful in your mortgage business, or just for some general interest in what's going on. Sherry has such a way of breaking down the more difficult topics and subjects that are coming out from the Bank of Canada, because that day as well, in the morning at 6:45 a.m. Pacific time, 9:45 a.m. Ontario or Eastern time, that's when the Bank of Canada comes out with their rate announcement. So check that out. We'll make sure that we post that on all the different websites as well. But Sherry Cooper, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, right here on your favorite interwebs. She'll be there talking all about what that announcement means. So stay tuned for all of that. Next, the annual State of the Union. That is coming up yet again. And I think this will cover up, let's see if my banner, my banner covers it all up. So no worries, but we'll figure that out. What we have here is the State of the Union. This is where we have our CEO, Gary Morris. We have our president, Eddie Cocciolo. We have different people from DLCG come on for about a 90-minute program where we go through the year that was, which will be 2024. And then what do we have for the year ahead? Last year, you may recall, is when we announced Gold Rush, and that has been a groundbreaking program system for us here. Agents are raving about it, and we continue to do such cool things. So what will we be announcing at the State of the Union on January 22nd at 10 a.m. Pacific time? Stay tuned. You'll have to join in on all the fun. But please mark that date, put in your calendar, block it off for 90 minutes, and you will be much smarter for that. So stay tuned for that. And last but not least, Ontario people. So anyone else from not Ontario, cover your ears for a moment if you want. But Ontario, here's what we have. I want to give you a reminder. So this was the first year of level 2 courses. And you might say, if you're asking what's a level 2 course, then this is the perfect segment for you. So level 2 here, I'm going to make this nice and full screen. I'll take off my little banner here. So there's no fees to have this, but if you wish to do private mortgages, you must become a level 2 agent. And here's all the stuff that you need. It's really, really quite simple. In fact, you just have to take a course, take a test. You can actually challenge the exam if you want. But here's what's better. Go to the Remix site, go to that. Can I point at that? Almost. Point to that URL, go to that URL and register for the course. Yes, there's a cost to the course and there it is, but you are now able to process to deliver extra value to your clients in Ontario because you can provide private mortgages. So here are the courses. They're all there. And I'll go back one more slide. There's the website that you have to do. But I really want to encourage you to do that. If you want to be a level 1 and only do prime business, that's great. But in order to have that full rounded scope and to be that full service mortgage broker, this is what you'll do. This is what the professionals will want to do. This is what your clients will want you to do. How embarrassing is it if a client comes to you and they have a need for a private mortgage and you can't fulfill that? So please try that again. Check that out. Check out the course. Go to the FSRA website to learn more if you need be, or get a hold of Mary Gronkowski. She is our corporate compliance officer, and she can give you that information. Or as always, you can always drop me a quick email here, and I'm happy to give you more information. But the more qualified you are, the better you'll be for your clients. And something that Hallie reminded me in the green room, just as the start of the program, is without that renewals as well. So if you have a client that you've placed with a private mortgage 3 years ago, you need to have this level 2 in Ontario if you want to be able to provide that renewal to them. So there you go. That's everything you need to know. And I hope that will help you out. And there's some applause from all of you in the crowd. So I know that we've done some good work here. So there we are. So thank you so much. Let's just take a look here at the comments. Hey, Stu Brown, right back at you. Appreciate that. And what a great reminder. Here's some people putting in the mighty. These are regular viewers. And why wouldn't they be? They're trying to win one of these coveted mortgage show mugs. Put in hashtag TMS, put in a comment. And at the end of the program here, we are going to draw for one of these world famous mugs here that can hold hot and or cold beverages. It's one of those dual purpose mugs that we talk about all the time on the program. And thank you, Carlos, for the kind comment as well. So without further ado, let's bring in our first guest. She is down in Mexico. She's in an RV, and I'm not sure if it's a Breaking Bad thing or not, but here it is. Hallie Noble. How you doing, Hallie?
Good.
Oh, the audience loves you. They're waving at you here, too.
Yeah, definitely no Breaking Bad. No Breaking Bad here, Dave. No Breaking Bad.
But you are down in Mexico. And I think every time we've got you on the program here, you're down there. What are you doing? What's going on in Mexico?
Oh, working away, thanks to Starlink. Let's hope nothing happens there today. But
thank you, Elon. Elon watches the program, huge fan of the show, so he'll make sure your Starlink stays connected.
No, yeah. It's actually a bit of a COVID silver lining where we were able to start working remotely. Of course, you got to be careful if you're someone in a broker situation where you have a supervisory position, which I don't. You have to be in the country. You got to be. There's a lot of other things that we could always talk about working out of the country, but it allows for you to live your best life and do your best work. I miss the universities. I missed seeing you guys.
Well, yeah, we missed you as well, but your stand-in Riza did a good job. He handed out many chappies. And that's what I love about you guys. That's actually something maybe we'll start off with. You guys are everywhere. I mean, I don't know what status level Riza has with his airlines, but I just absolutely love the fact that you are at as many, when I say you, mean Team FSGuard, or as many different places as possible. And of course, there's other people on your team, so I don't mean just to single out one person, but how do you guys do that? And it's clearly that's a priority. And why is that a priority for you guys?
Well, we still believe this is truly a relationship business. And it's one thing to see me like this, but it's another thing to be face to face and have those individual conversations. It's still really important, and that hasn't changed. Riza is everywhere. I've been there, done that. Paul is the same thing. But, the social media really helps. When you see Reza posts that he's going somewhere, there's a bit behind that. Not only is he going to see the folks that he's planned to see, but inevitably you get a call, hey, why don't you come into my office, or why don't we have coffee? It works really well for us. And, we do like that handshake, face-to-face business, and it's just part of our DNA. I can't see that changing.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I love as well that you guys really leverage a lot of social media for that, because there is that sort of, oh, wait, he's coming to Toronto or he's coming to Vancouver.
Right.
Well, hey, if you have a moment, love to chat with you and that sort of thing. But you guys are everywhere. And I know our agents really appreciate it. And as well, we had a number of people say, where's Hallie? What's going on? I said,
hey, believe it or not,
Mexico.
I have a lot of people come down here that are brokers that I end up meeting up with. So it works all the time. Doesn't matter.
That's incredible. And so you're doing business on the road. It's not just the golf and the cervezas and the Mexican White Claws that you held one up during the green room here. There we go. And what's the actual name of that? Topo Chico. I can't read. Topo Chico. There we go. There's your free product placement. Topo Chico. Send me the cash. So we'll check this out. But more and more. Let's get back to business here. It's more me causing the problem here. Is you guys have celebrated your 30th anniversary. Which is incredible.
1994, my dad started Fiskard. Of course, he had a real estate offices that we all worked in. I've been working with him since '89. That's when I got my real estate and mortgage broker's license. But the Fiskard group of companies was started in '94, and it's a really big deal. 30 years in this business at one company is fantastic, and we've been celebrating through having parties at our office, having all sorts of contests, and really just kind of recognizing the longevity of a business, especially a family business, for 30 years has been something we're so proud of. And I kind of feel like, can we just carry this on to 31 years of celebrating? Because it's been a blast. We love it.
Yeah. And along with that, you guys had some neat little product changes and upgrades and enhancements this year in terms of the fully open 1-year terms and 75% increased maxed values. Anything else that I've missed? I know I only mentioned 2, but anything I missed that our viewers should know about Fiskard in terms of the product offering?
We're fairly conservative still. We're fairly conservative, but really, this mortgage, in the A and the B business, things have got really complicated. They're changing all the time. We're trying to do exactly the opposite. We're trying to make sure things are streamlined. This is the rate. There's no fee, no renewal fees, as long as they paid as agreed. We don't want to nickel and dime people to death. We just want it to be straight up, transparent, and easy for the broker to bring the solution to Fiskard or the application to Fiskard for our solution, but also to get their client out. In a perfect world, this client becomes so successful, goes to an A lender, and then comes back to us as an investor. Isn't that your perfect situation? So we believe in treating them, amazing right from the get-go, even when they're in their toughest situations. It's just a super streamlined product. So not changed a lot, but open that second mortgage product again. We do have a bundle with actually a lot of your DLC guys are our bundle investors on the backside, which has been fantastic. So you can get up to 80, 85 if necessary. But, there's some blips in the road happening with some mix and some private lenders out there that we're conscious of and we're watching for, because what affects them affects us. And you got to be really careful. And lots of, like I said, regulatory changes.
Yeah. And on that, I'd love for you to share a little bit more, because when we were talking in the green room before the program, you reminded me that even on renewals with our Ontario friends. So what are you seeing with level 2 agents in Ontario? Are you seeing some kind of hiccups where someone will come to you with an application, or is it more on the renewals where they're fully aware they're not a level 2, but they might have not appreciated that because they're not a level 2, even renewals are a problem? So what are you seeing? There's
some complications all over the map, but even for your folks in different provinces, don't think this might not trickle down. The MBRCC, which is the Mortgage Brokers Regulator Council of Canada, they meet, they get together. There's a lot of talk in different provinces, especially in BC with the new Mortgage Services Act, that some of these different levels of licensing may happen there. So just keep an eye on what's happening in Ontario and prepare yourselves. But yes, of course, we get an application from a broker or an agent in Ontario and they don't have a level 2. We can't accept it. We are also licensed in Ontario, and we legally, we could get in trouble if we accepted it. Having said that, say you're not a level 2 and you did the deal a year ago with us or prior to this regulation, and now that mortgage is up for renewal, you want to negotiate something with us or take that client elsewhere to another private, whatever it's going to be, or another MIC, you can't. You need to refer that client off to another level 2 broker. These are things that people really not necessarily had thought through, or maybe you have a DLC agent or a broker in another province that's doing a deal in Ontario, multiple provinces, they need to have a level 2 as well. So anything in a
Right.
level 2 in Ontario, whether you're actually from Ontario, could be a BC broker with a client in Ontario, you need to have that level 2. It's super important, and we don't want to be the ones that become the target of a regulator because we accepted a deal that way.
Right.
Someone's gonna get poked at, and it's certainly not going to be us. But I'm always happy to answer questions for any broker agent. That you guys are great at DLC with your education, but if they want to check, Hallie, what can we do if we don't have this? Talk to your agent, talk to your broker owner, figure that out. Do you guys have a deal desk with level 2s that you can send through? I'm not sure how.
We do, yeah. So both MA and DLC have the central underwriting unit, CUU, and access desk, the AD on either side. So yeah, from a corporate side, we're fully aware, and it's what's interesting is I still keep running into agents who they see either you or Riza or Leslie or Paula, and they go, we want to do business with you, and it almost has to be, well, do you have your level 2? And so many conversations are, well, we don't have that. So I know we're kind of beating that to death here, but you brought up an interesting point there. You don't want to be the target of a regulator, and maybe shift over to some new regulations with our friends at FinTrack. They're also fans of the program. They watch every time. But how has the new FinTrack AML rules impacted FisGuard or perhaps private lending as a whole in Canada over the last, what's it been, 2 months now, or coming on to 2 months now?
We've been working on it for a long time. And it's been coming, to be honest, as a mortgage investment corporation, we've been dealing with FinTrack rules on our investor side for some time. So we're used to that, asking the right questions, getting ID, et cetera, on that side of our business. But on the borrower side, there's been some interesting changes that have come about, source of funds. Isn't that one of the reasons why, you often will bring a deal to a private lender or a mortgage investment corporation at any MIE, is that, maybe the source of funds have not been in Canada for 3 months, most banks want, and they've only been in for 60 days. Well, we need to delve into that now, where before it didn't matter. We didn't have to ask those questions. And now we have to actually rank each one of our deals. Is it low, medium, or high risk? We have to report those. It's quite a lot more work for our underwriting teams. And of course, when you had that, hey, this is easy, just take this to a private lender. They're not going to ask any questions. We have to ask those questions now. So I think the brokers and agents out there need to get used to that. We do have some that are kind of peeved that, why are you asking me this? You're a private lender. What do you care? We care because we have to now. We absolutely do.
Yeah, the professionalism of FisGuard in particular, and the increased professionalism in the private space as well has been improving. So I think some people might be holding on to a legacy belief, and that's going to not serve them well. And I'm glad to see that we're aligned. DLCG and FisGuard are aligned in the professionalism and leaning into the regulation and making sure that we're doing fun things like that. But that was 2024, so. Yeah, exactly. You'll be hampered otherwise. But we're talking 2024. Let's talk optimistically. For 2025, what's going to happen in FisGuard's 31st year of operation? What can we expect from you guys?
Now we've got all our products for the next year done. Budget's done, products done. I can't wait for the conference next year. Really looking forward to that. We'll be doing a lot more streamlined focus on the brokers that have been supporting us. There's a lot of privates will do a big shotgun approach and just try and get every deal that you can get. I think relationships, as I mentioned earlier, are key in this kind of really tough market. I mean, there's a lot of money floating around out there. There's fewer deals. So there's a lot of, I don't want to say bait and switch, but some really interesting low rate, a little bit higher fees, maybe short term. You got to do the math, guys. Do the math on all your private deals. If it's 6 months and it looks like a lower rate and a fee, it's probably not. It's probably not the best deal for your clients. But that's really what we're going to focus on, is taking care of those that have been taking care of us and sticking with those relationships. We don't need to be everything to everyone. And that's really our focus and mantra for this year. And we have an incredible partnership with all of DLCG, DLC, MA, and MCC has been amazing to us. We're going to continue on doing the same thing. Brokers come to us because they know what we're going to charge. They know the kind of service they're going to get. It's kind of like the McDonald's of private lending. I've seen that. I've said that many times before, but you know what you're getting, and nothing more to expect. We are super focused on making sure that we're on top of the regulatory environment. We want you to do it right. We don't want you to run into problems, and we'll walk you through every little step of that if need be. Pretty simple stuff.
Well, you had me at the word McDonald's, to be quite honest. But there's lots there, and I think what you really mean, to be honest, is that you guys are consistent. You're absolutely consistent. And then here's the man himself weighing in, David Halley. We love the DLCG Mortgage Group. Flattery will get you everywhere, Riza. You know that. So absolutely, it's just wonderful to see that. So if there's agents out there watching this program right now and they have not yet submitted a deal or they're not signed up with FizGuard, what should they do?
You can email myself, Riza, Paula, or Leslie. And of course, we are on Velocity. Easy to find. Our website's fizguard.com. We're very accessible. We're not a 9-to-5 group. As Riza knows, we're always online. We're on many of the chat groups, including I Love Mortgage Brokering, WIMI, everywhere. We're again, if it's not a deal for FizGuard, if you call us up and it's not something that's going to happen for us, we're generally going to give you 2 or 3 other places to go. We've all been around long enough to know who does what, and who we're willing to send you to that's going to take care of you and your client. So it is just not FizGuard. It's called FizGuard first, and then we're going to help you out and try and get it done. That's the most important thing, to keep you guys all there working well, getting paid, and staying in the biz.
Yeah, so you seem very optimistic for 2025. As I kind of alluded to, you added a couple of people to your bench strength with Leslie and with Paula, and also Paula. I run into her everywhere, and man, she is fast on those selfies. I'm telling you, she's learned a lot from Riza, I think, on that as well. But I just love that. So, as you look ahead to 2025, what are the trends that you might see in the private lending? Obviously, there's a lot of renewals that are coming up next year, or maybe not starting, but even more so next year. What are sort of trends you're seeing in the private lending space?
The ABIZ renewals really doesn't affect us. That's not our business.
Right.
I mean, that stuff, our renewals are 1 to 2 years. They're rolling over. But certainly what we're seeing as rates drop, we're seeing a lot more payouts. So, those payouts we're always dealing with that capital management. Our money goes out into mortgage investments, comes back into payouts, and we always have to have, as much of our capital out as possible, which is the best thing for our investors. So we're seeing a lot of payouts, and that's great. That's a great trend, because that means ideally, those clients are going to, a B or an A lender with a better rate, and maybe something that's a little better for them, or better situation. It's not always about rate, as we all know. So that's a bit of a trend that we're seeing. We're also seeing some of the smaller lenders struggle. There's certainly some cracks happening out there as far as the higher LTVs, some of the rural properties, places where people are just not willing to go. The A and B lenders are not willing to go. And maybe that private's been in there for 2 or 3 years and not willing to renew again, not quite as comfortable with either the value or the market in that area. Supply and demand, not many sales, but lots on the market. That lowers the price. Seeing some of that, that's certainly a problem. And of course, there's the GTA condo issues. I think that's going to be really painful coming up. So you'll see a lot of the privates that would have normally said, hey, yeah, we'll do that. No, we're backing out of that too.
Maybe dive into that for our viewers who are not necessarily in the GTA in the Greater Toronto area, and what that problem is, because what I've noticed is often things start in Ontario and then kind of move across. So if you don't mind, just go a little deeper into what that issue is with condos in the GTA.
Well, it seems like it started years ago, because of course these were pre-sale condos, construction and development permits started 5, 6, 7 years ago, but product is just coming online now. Well, when that came on, of course, the market was high as far as values go, sale prices go. These are 500 square foot condos. They're really built for rentals or for Airbnbs. We know what happened with that market as well. So that's not a typical average renter that's going to go into one of those properties. And they're certainly not going to be paying the rents that would cover someone's initial mortgage payment or investment. So a lot of people are not closing on it, just taking the hit. And you're seeing a lot of that, because that 500 square foot crate condos, they're not for living. They're just, they were for investments, and that market has changed. So I'm not quite sure where that's going to land, but from a mortgage perspective, it is not an investment that we would want to go to, or many other non-bank, alternative lenders want to hit up as well. So where are these people going to go? And there are many that are already underwater.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I have some friends and associates who basically purchased these kind of micro condos, 600 square feet, and they bought, say, 4 or 5 on the same floor even. And Airbnb or short-term rental rules across the country, at least here in British Columbia, but certainly across the country as well, have changed. And now they're left with 4 or 5 very, very small condos that they seemingly can't rent out, or don't want to, because they haven't established themselves as landlords. So I think we're going to see, that's going to be an issue in the GTA that will spread out, and hopefully FizGuard can be there to help.
In the average single family market, Mr. and Mrs. Smith with some kids, that's still a really good place to be. And what we found is that there's some values that have pretty much leveled out. We're still really happy with it. There's still transactions happening. I'd love to see rates come down a bit more. And I think that will spur the market. I think an election would spur the market. I feel that there's a real when in doubt, stand still happening out there. I'm just going to stick this out to see what's happening in our economy and with our politics, and then see what happens. So it is really, I think it's going to be a steady year. Nothing exciting, just status quo. And that's good too, because then you can still ramp up your marketing and start getting prepared for when it all goes again, like it always does. Eventually.
Well, you know what we'll have to do is we'll have to do a special election broadcast of the Mortgage Show, because, you know, we're certainly going to have a federal election before, or by, I should say, October the 20th here in British Columbia. We could have another election. I know my political friends are kind of ramping up, and then across the country we could see more happen. And then, of course, with whatever turmoil happens in the States with the returning President Trump. So who knows what this will be? But what I do know is that, Hallie, you're an incredible individual. Fizgard's an amazing company, and I'm proud to have you on as a business partner and friend. And I hope you're enjoying Cabo, and hopefully you'll be able to get a new drinking idea from Heather and Ivan later on in the program. And
I think I have it too.
There you go. You're perfectly set up. So,
got a Modelo. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to learn from Heather. And thank you guys for having me on and for being amazing partners. Fantastic.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Enjoy your stay down in Mexico. We'll talk soon, friend. Bye-bye. Hallie Noble, everyone. And Fizgard. Yeah, lots of interesting things happening in that space, happening in the private space. And I know I sound a bit like a broken record here as I keep bringing up get the level 2 right over there, pointing. I almost did that correctly. How do I do that? There we are. Make sure you sign up for that course. Yes, it's about a $300 course, but yes, you'll be able to serve your clients even better. And especially if you have renewals that are in that private space, you might be shocked to learn that you cannot participate in that renewal if and when it comes due, if you do not have your level 2 course. So love to make sure that you are all set for all of that. So let's keep on moving here. We've got lots of great stuff. As I mentioned before, sign up, put the TMS hashtag so you can win this fabulous Mortgage Show mug. But coming up now is one of our more popular segments here on the program. This is 5 Minutes with Kate Brady. Cool things our brokers do besides mortgages. And this month we have Jen Mateus from DLC in Calgary, and it's not a rock band, it's not a choir, it's something in between. It's Rev 52, and maybe I'll just run it and you can check out what it's all about. Check this out.
This is 5 Minutes with Kate Brady. These are the cool things our brokers do besides mortgages. These are really pretty cool things that they do.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cool Things Our Brokers Do Besides Mortgages. Today I am joined by Jen from Mortgage 360 out of Calgary. Welcome to the show, Jen. I'm so excited to have you.
Thanks so much, Kate.
So we're talking all things a talented singer today, which is unbeknownst to me. And I was so excited to stumble upon kind of your, I guess, extracurricular activity. You're part of a large singing group. Don't want to call it a choir, specializing in really cool rock music. So tell us a little bit about how you got started with Rev 52 and singing, on the side.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been singing since I was a kid. But when I moved to Calgary, you have to be an adult, get a job, do all the things. Yeah. So kind of gave that up. Once I was a little more settled in my career, I was actually already a broker at the time. I found Rev, and it has been part of my life for now 16 years, which is crazy. We are, for all intents and purposes, a choir. However, prefer maybe more, vocal ensemble, or just that we are 52 people most of the time. Right now, only 50, all on individual mics singing with a rock band. So it's a pretty cool group to be part of. We've done some pretty crazy stuff over the time that I've been with the group.
Tell us a little bit about that experience and some of the kind of highlights of being with this group. Maybe some of your singing kind of, I'm not even saying the right words,
adventures.
But your performances.
Yeah, for sure. So when I joined Rev, I joined the board right away. We are a charitable group, so we have a board. We apply for grants, all of that kind of stuff. We have really, over the last, I would say probably 7 to 10 years, really kind of catapulted ourselves in 10x, and every year it's just like more and more and more crazy. Now we're up to, we do 3 shows a year plus. I sing with the smaller group within the group. So as you can imagine, if you're having an event, bringing 50 singers just isn't possible. So there is a smaller group called Remix, powered by Red 52. So we go out to different charity events, or like smaller. We've done weddings, that sort of thing, as well as like other performances throughout the year. So we actually have a gala coming up for a fundraiser that we're doing with the big group at the National Music Center here in Calgary, which is such a beautiful venue to perform in. And we've done the Calgary Stampede. We're all volunteers, so we're not paid. We all have our own regular jobs and families and lives that we're doing, but we're as close to a professional group while still being volunteer and unpaid as there can be. So it's a lot of work, but really fulfilling. And as you can imagine, being in something like you were saying for 16 years, some of my best friends are the people that I met in Rev.
On the note of singing, you mentioned kind of 3 performances as the larger group. Obviously, lots of things going on at the Remix group as well. Tell us a little bit about what that looks like in terms of preparing for a show and maybe picking some of the music.
So we have an artistic director who manages most of that. But he's very collaborative. So, for instance, we're doing a show in January called Guitar Hero. So it's all of like a bunch of amazing guitar anthems. And as you can imagine, the list to choose from is huge. So what he did was sort of pulled the group and then drilled it down to choose, not only ones that are obviously great and that will be exciting to perform, but also that will work for like a 4-part harmony, 8-part harmony situation, because not all songs lend themselves to like multiple harmonies. I also am the producer of the show. So I got to help design the set and like work with the choreographer to like just try to stage things and, help out with the production team.
So 52, obviously Red 52, I'm assuming the name is part of how many are part of this ensemble. Is there an appetite to expand with all these additional people, or is there a reason why 50 or 52 people make sense for the group?
So it just so happens that the last couple of years we've had 52 singers. The 52 actually it's not necessary that it be 52 people. It actually is because the choir started in 1952 for the Queen's for the Queen's Jubilee. It was started at that time. But the last couple of years we've had exactly 52 singers, which just sort of worked out great. But it is because of our history and where we came from.
I want to ask you a little bit about the charity. So you're a charity. Give us a little bit of understanding of kind of how that works for Rev 52. What you're going out, you're doing your performances. How do people kind of contribute? Is it just simply ticket sales? And where does that money kind of get distributed within Calgary? Or is it really just to support your group to continue to do what you need to do?
Yeah, so we are a charitable society. And so we receive grants from the government. We do casinos, that sort of thing. And it allows us to put on the shows that we put on. So that's really great. The other side of it, though, is that we have the opportunity to help other charities and perform at other events. So we just did the Humane Society. We've done the Calgary Women's Emergency Shelter and stuff like that. So we have the opportunity, because we get the opportunity of grants and that sort of thing, we have the opportunity to also give back to the city.
Oh, I love that. So you're just a full love fest, and I love it that it's all music too. Music is such a feel good. Doesn't matter what kind of genre you love to listen to or you connect with. Any kind of music just, I think, brings people together, and it's amazing that you're doing that, and then you're doing it for others as well. So that's really special. In order for our viewers, kind of final question, what's next for you in the group, and where can we find you guys? So if people are local to Calgary or Alberta and they want to come catch a show and see you in action, what does that look like for our viewers?
So there's a couple of different ways. Obviously, live. You can come to any of our shows. Go to our website, rev52.com. So it's REVV52.com. It will show you any of our upcoming shows that we have going on. We stream all of our shows, so we don't live stream them because we'd like to, mix them and make sure that they're going to be what we want everybody to hear. But we will be streaming. Our 80 show was last year. We're just finishing it up, so it's going to be available to be streamed online. So if you don't live in Calgary or you don't plan to visit, you should maybe just come visit and see one of our shows. I would love to see it.
It's a great excuse to come.
Exactly. But if that's not possible, then you may be able to see it, a little while later. And we'll be posting those things on our social media, as well as on our website for people to be able to see. We also have a YouTube channel that has a lot of great videos on it.
Thank you so much for your time. It was so great to catch up and hear all about Rev 52. For our viewers, please check them out. You'll be blown away by the talent. Follow them on their Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of the social media, and support our good friend Jen here. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Calgary NCS, and we can.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna book something for sure. I'd love to see. I'm gonna throw it back to Dave in the studio. Thanks again, Jen, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks so much.
These are really pretty cool things that they do.
That is pretty awesome. That is just incredible. And if you didn't catch that website, there it is, rev52.com. Thank you, Jen, for sharing your amazing talent. And they have some incredible videos on their site as well, and just beautiful. And I love their interpretations of all sorts of rock and pop classics. And check it out, rev52.com. And if you want to be featured here on Cool Things Our Brokers Do Besides Mortgages, or the easy to remember acronym of CTOBDBM, give me an email. Let me know what you're doing. We've had fitness experts, we've had philanthropists, we've had people who've climbed mountains, we've had professional athletes, we've had authors. We'd love to showcase your amazing talents. Want to be featured? There's the address. Write to me, Dave at DLCG.ca, and love to check that out. Also had a nice little message here from Libby. Hope you're feeling better, Kate. We missed you at the Toronto DLC University. Yeah, Kate had a bit of an illness there on the day of, so she could not present. So very nice for you to send that out. Thank you so much. And Sandra, yeah, it's great seeing what our agents do. It's amazing how talented everyone is. And if you didn't catch Heather's message, she's actually been there, and she'll be up later on in the program. But it's great to have a nice little recommendation, validation of how amazing Rev 52 actually is. So without further ado, let's bring up our next guests from the mighty Home Trust. Please welcome to the stage Pierre Martin and Calvin Fernandez. Hello, gentlemen. How you doing?
Hey, Dave.
Yeah. Good.
What a great looking audience. Holy
this is, it's fabulous. The 2,000 people that we put into the studio, it's just not enough. We need more.
And world renowned.
That's correct. And it's so great to have you guys here to talk about all things mortgages. But before we do that, I think it's something important that we should talk about here is I came across this chart. As you know, I enjoy a good chart. Pierre, I can't make out the name that's at the top of the Eastern Conference. Can you read that to me, Pierre?
Montreal Canadiens.
Close. And that might be part of your problem with your team is you believe that we're number 8 means that we're number 1. So I like this chart. This is a great chart.
I apologize.
Well, it's okay, but I'm here to, I bring clarity to the masses. And this is really kind of an intervention from, myself and your friend Calvin. The Toronto Maple Leafs, number 1 in the Atlantic or division there. And I think actually even in, let me just scroll down here. Are they number 1 in, forget that. No need to look at that anyway. Look, the point is they are number 1 in the Atlantic Conference. And Montreal is a little bit behind that, my friend. So I just wanted to start that off.
Still young, and I don't definitely want to jinx Toronto Maple Leafs because I do like them too. But the season is only the beginning of the season. You might never know. Hope is always a belief that I believe in. So you never know.
You never know. Well, I appreciate that. And look at that, Risa, giving you a nice little shout out there to you guys as well. So there you go. But let's get down to business.
Well, Dave, before we begin, can I just?
Oh,
say,
sure.
I was really expecting to see you like with an elf on the shelf. Now that's December. I thought the garb was you were gonna make it.
Yeah.
No holiday festivity.
I don't. I'm trying to make up a pun because I don't have it. So on my computer tower, I have a Rowdy Roddy Piper doll. So I have a Piper on a computer. I can't make the pun. So how about that? If anyone can make a pun for a Roddy Piper doll on my computer or screen, that's the closest I've got. Yeah, you know what? I should have themed it, but you know what? We'll make up for it because Heather and her incredible husband Ivan. Yeah, I was struggling for the name while I hit a button over here. Yeah, it's incredible. They're going to be dressed up. They do some crazy things, and it's great. But then here's Jane. The proof for the Leafs is how they do in the playoffs. Yes, I know. I know. But all right. Well, talking about hope and dreams, what's going on? Oh, wait. Here's one from Jason. You got a Piper on the printer. There we go. You win. That's actually, you know what? I think the studio audience. What do you guys think? Yeah, they love that. So there we go. But talking about hopes and dreams with the Leafs, what can we look forward to from Home Trust in 2025? I know you guys have had a great year and you guys continue to innovate and so on. But you know, what can we expect from you guys in 2025?
That's a good question. To be fair, still working on solutions you can trust. Basically, Home Trust is committed to helping grow your business in alternative space. And I think it's our approach that makes us Home Trust. And what I mean by that, we're reasonable, we're available, we're reliable. And I think these are things that these are core
values,
things we want to work on and continue working on. What does that really mean for us? We're working. I think one of the biggest shift I would say this year and for the next couple of years is really the notion of continued serving our brokers, and it's to basically provide better servicing to our brokers. So how do we get there? That's technology, process, and people. So we've been focusing, I would say, this year a lot on technology enhancements to improve, I would say, operational efficiency and deliver fast service to brokers. That's pretty much bringing the information quicker to the underwriters so they can make decisions faster, and focusing on the relationship with the broker. It's getting employees to lead business process improvements. Basically, it's trying to address, I would say, the pinpoints. It's really continue to foster a culture of continuous improvement, continue to surface those pain points and develop and implement process improvements to do better, to be better and serve our brokers. And also what's very important for us is to continue to develop staff skills levels, and to maintain that strong service culture. It's something that it has to be worked on a daily basis. And to be fair, a lot of the times we forget about it. So it's something repeat.
Yeah. And that's the same thing we do here, is that repeat. But I love that technology, process, and people. And I can tell you the people too included on this screen. You guys have been incredibly supportive of everything that we have done. And similar to our friends at FizGuard, you guys seem to be everywhere as well. I mean, I felt bad, Calvin. Calvin was at our cocktail party in Toronto, and I was rushing around. We were doing different things, and I think I talked to him for all of like 30 seconds, which Pierre would have enjoyed only that limited time. But Calvin and I like spending time together.
We get our monthly calls in, so we're good.
Yeah, so it's all good. But another theme, you guys talk about all the servicing that you do with our agents, and we certainly appreciate that. And I hear time and time again. But conversely, you know, some of the conversations we've had over the last, not even just year, but a couple of years, has been talking about efficiencies and how we can put our agents, more specifically, can put the paperwork together in a more efficient way. And efficiencies can mean a lot of things. So maybe, Calvin, what do efficiencies mean to Home Trust, and how can we as agents support what you're trying to do with efficiencies and what that means?
You know, it's about trying to understand that the underwriter is trying to get a picture that's in your head. So let's work on the communication. Let's understand what it is that you're trying to put across that desk. When the efficiency, how the efficiencies come into play at that point is, if the information up front is done correctly, the underwriter can make a decision better. You get faster turnaround time on what it is that you're submitting to us. You know what? There's going to be issues. There's going to be items. There's going to be situations where you don't always get things. Things change. I mean, you might have, talking to clients that you've set them up. You tell them what they do, and they just don't do it. And then you're trying to try to get everything up, and it becomes, last minute kind of things. But it's all about setting expectations. And I think that goes for both sides.
Right. And what are some of those things that we could do, like specific things that our agents can do to ensure that they are assisting with those efficiencies and assisting with getting the underwriting done quicker?
I think it's just understanding the client here.
So
add more to
I don't think there's, perfect, Cal. I think that there's never going to be one magic thing, to be fair. I think, first of all, it's partnership between, I would say, the broker and the BDM, as an example. Don't hesitate to call the BDM and run scenarios to the BDM, so that they can help you. Our BDMs, I know that the leadership team anyway, we're trying to pick up the phone, answer the question, be knowledgeable, and I would even argue a lot of our BDMs are ex-underwriters. That's one added value, I think, speaking to our BDMs there. But I think also is just tell us the truth. Simple as that. Tell us the truth. Tell us the story, and we will work with you to find a solution. What I hate seeing are examples where we didn't necessarily have the initial truth, and not necessarily from the broker standpoint of view, but from the client standpoint of view. And the fact that we do find out at the end, by doing our due diligence, we kind of have to kill the deal. And the worst part is we would have done the deal anyway if you had told us the truth. I think that's the key point. And more importantly, tell us. So here's the thing. I love when brokers take the time to write down those large notes, 5 C's. But a lot of it is we can see. Don't put in your notes, the beacon score is 600. Great. I can see that. Underwriters can see that. It's what behind the 600. What happened to that 600? Why is he not paying the bill? Is there a life story there? That's what we need to know. And that's the information that you need to provide to us, so we get a better sense of what's the cause, so we can find the cure and find the solution and make the deal happen.
Well, I love that. Obviously telling the truth is a good thing. And but sometimes, it's the story behind the story. And you guys seem to listen to that more often than not. So we certainly appreciate that. Also in 2024, you reviewed and expanded your lending areas. And so maybe you can, for those who might not have known that, because it's amazing how many people say, oh, you don't lend in such and such, you'll never lend in such and such. But maybe you can go explain, Calvin, where have you expanded to? And maybe are there more places that Home Trust will be in 2025 as well?
We are a urban suburban type lender, but we've been focused mainly in Ontario, and now we started to spread out to Quebec a little bit more, BC a little bit more. I think we've pretty much tapped out most of where we want to be in Ontario. Pierre, if you want to, you've been on the lead on this with regards to the lending areas. So if you want to expand on that a bit more, it'd be by all means. Pierre?
I think, Cal, you were cutting off. I don't know if everyone heard it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think maybe you're having some technical issues on your side.
No worries. So maybe I'll kind of recap what Calvin said. I think the last 2 years, we've definitely focused on Classic. Yes, we went out of the accelerator, which, at the end of the day, made us better in Classic and to focus on lending area. So we definitely started more in Ontario. COVID and the impact of COVID pushed people to get out of, I would say, the GTA. So that we start, and where to build when you look at in GTA, it's outside of GTA. So those are the areas that we definitely focus. But I think in 2024, we really made a big stand on provinces like Quebec, Alberta, and BC. Those are three, I would say, provinces that we are really, really pushing. Just to give you an idea, in Alberta, we're over 100% growth in that territory. We had 2 BDMs, and we're just pounding the pavement, to be honest with you there. So we believe in these provinces, and we're doing everything we can to try to get market share out there. So yes, we are going to continue on those markets for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And whenever you can expand your lending areas, you're going to expand, obviously, the agents who are interested in using your product. And for anyone out there, if you're unsure whether or not Home Trust services your area, please give one of these fine gentlemen a call here or an email. I'll throw Calvin's email address right here. It's the best way. These guys will get you signed up. We'll respond quickly and make sure everything is good. With a couple of minutes left here as well, I know that 2025. A little bird told me that you might have a new product offering in 2025. This is breaking news here, except for the fact I heard it in MPC. This is December breaking news here. Is there a new product offering that Home Trust may be offering come 2025?
So this is what I can say. I think we heard the same rumor at the National MPC. It was interesting because it was the first time we heard it, but let's demystify a little bit that rumor. It's all around reverse mortgages. So is it a product that is in line with Classic, which is our alternative? Yes, it is, 100%. Is it something that we've passed, I would say, the phase of thinking about it, research? Yes, it is. Are we in the stage of building it? I'm going to say yes, we are. So stay tuned on it, but it's definitely something that we are very keen on and interested in.
Yeah, I love that you guys continue to innovate, continue to iterate as well, bring different new products or breathe some life in it. So I'm really looking forward to what that might look like. And as we wrap up here, what is the last words, Calvin, that you want our agents to know about Home Trust? If they're not using you at all, or if they've not yet, haven't used you more consistently, what would you say to them in terms of giving them some tips and reminders about why Home Trust is a really great lender in their toolkit?
First of all, the alternative market is a place that they should be doing some business in. I think Hallie nailed it on the head earlier in her conversation with you. Sometimes it doesn't always fit on the Mortgage Investment Corporation with a mix or privates. It doesn't fit on the A side, so we're in a perfectly good spot for it. We have the product. We've been around for over 30 years to be doing this. We are familiar with it. We have a great team. Dave, you've been working with us for a while now. We try and, every issue that you might have, we try and get a resolution for you with regards to it. So, we're going to keep working. We're going to keep working hard. We're going to keep coming up with new products and services, and we're going to try and help you guys out. It's your business. We want to be partners.
You guys are wonderful. So thank you so much. And I hope I get to see you both before the Christmas season, New Year's. But if not, just wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I can't wait to see what Home Trust will do, even greater things come 2025. So thank you so much, gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed your time here on the Mortgage Show. And everyone, Pierre Martin, Calvin Fernandez from Home Trust. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Lots of fun. Those guys are great. Home Trust has so many great solutions for you. I really encourage you, if you have not yet spent some time checking them out, please do. Just a little bit of a jump back here. Carrie sent a nice message here. Looking forward to catching a Rev 52 show sometime soon, Jen. So absolutely, that'll be a lot of fun to see that. And next time I'm in Calgary, I'll have to check that out as well. But here we are with a couple minutes left in the program. Let's get to a Christmas drink with our fun folks at Mortgage Mixology. Oh, yes. You are a crowd favorite. Look at you guys all dressed up.
What?
That's a wonderful, and I apologize. We spent too much time talking about mortgage stuff today, so we only have about 5 minutes. I know. What was I thinking? But you know,
So
what's
you're
really
telling us
great.
we have to go fast, is what you're
You
saying.
have to go a bit faster here, but
Okay.
here's what we're mixing up. We're mixing up the cinnamon bourbon fizz. So I'm really interested in what this might be. So Ivan, tell us all about your concoction here. And by the way, sweet stash, if I have not said that as well. Sweet stash. And again, they love that. That is amazing. So what are we cooking up here? What are we mixing up on the cinnamon bourbon fizz?
Well, this is Heather's creation.
See.
He's the talent. Let's be honest.
I'm coming new to this, just like you guys are. But it's simple because when it comes to cocktails, you should be an open book to any drink that comes your way, especially in the season of giving, right?
That's right.
Yes.
I'm going to start making it, but Heather will need to tell you because this drink has a special simple syrup.
Yes. So there is a little bit of pre-work to this drink, but it takes like 3 minutes. So you're going to want fresh cinnamon sticks, rosemary, and some honey. And you're just going to boil half a cup of honey, half a cup of water, 2 cinnamon sticks, and a sprig of fresh rosemary in a pot for like 3 minutes and let it cool down in a jar. And then you'll be able to save that in your fridge for days, weeks, and have it on hand.
Okay, I'm going to correct her.
Yes, thank you.
So the simple syrup is 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, boil it, and then it simmer. The longer you let it simmer, the thicker it gets and the better. If you're going to add ingredients like this, I would suggest you let it boil and simmer longer.
No,
So,
I totally disagree.
10 minutes.
Okay. As we've discussed in previous programs, we don't have time for the therapeutic side of this.
Yes.
That's what the alcohol is for.
But
Then,
bottom
so
line, if you don't want to look after yourself and take the time to try and make a simple syrup, use maple syrup.
okay, yeah, like I said, the therapeutic side. This is great.
On us already.
Pull in the hook. Come on, listen. This takes time. I just gave you a Christmas present of using maple syrup instead of simple syrup. Okay, well, Heather, you tell them what's in it then. All right.
Half an ounce of lemon juice, normally fresh, but we haven't grocery shopped for a while, so
We got mortgages to do.
Instead. 1 ounce of this honey infused syrup, which is just fine to boil for 3 minutes and let it steep for a few minutes after that. And then a dash of orange bitters, the Angostura bitters.
What is a dash?
Like
this?
Yeah, that's a dash.
Or this?
Well, that's way too much dashes. Oh my gosh.
Dashing through the snow. There you go.
1 dash, and then, or you could use rosemary bitters. Most people probably, I don't know, if you have a, robust alcohol cabinet, then maybe you have that. If not, Angostura is fine. And then we're going to do the really quick shake.
Do the shake.
I hope you've cued our music, Dave. If not, we'll just do a quick.
Jingle bells, Dave smells. Robin laid an egg, the Batmobile lost a wheel, and Joker got away.
Hey!
Perfect. And what's this look like? What's this look like poured? And as you're pouring that out, I'll remind everyone, use the hashtag TMS because we are going to do the big draw in just a moment here. I'm going to start collecting. Use TMS, and you can have a mug suitable for holding this drink.
There's a last add to this.
Yeah.
Which is?
Ooh, what is that?
Keep going.
Just a topper of sparkling water.
Yeah.
So,
and you probably could decorate this one, put a piece of that in there.
Yeah, you would want to do a little sprig of rosemary. No, we're good. You can't really see that. There you go. Sprig rosemary,
it
cranberries.
gives a little smell when you drink it.
Yes.
So you drink it. I'll watch her drink it.
Well, take a sip of that. I'm going to do the draw here as we head out here. Last call for alcohol, obviously. And then for TMS, I'm going to hit the draw. Let's see who is winning our fabulous TMS mug suitable for holding this cinnamon holiday drink. And who do we have here? Jason Nugent, congratulations.
Jason, you can make this drink while watching your Hallmark Christmas movies in the mug. Like, it's perfect.
This is perfect. And you know what? Thank you so much, guys. You guys are so wonderful. Sorry for the kind of quick one here. For everyone watching, thank you for all that you do. This is our last program for the year. We can't wait to see what 2025 will hold. You guys are awesome. Here we go for another great year. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy drinking. See you next time.